15 signs someone doesn't like you, even if you think they do. Being liked by the people you surround yourself with is a great feeling, and we often think we have a good handle on how people feel about us. But sometimes our perception is completely off. We may be misinterpreting the signals that someone is sending us, and it turns out they don't actually like us. It can be really disappointing to realize this. Here are the top 15 psychological signs that can tell us when someone doesn't like us, even if we think they do. Watch this video to the end so you don't miss anything. Welcome to a new video from the Social Psychology Masters YouTube channel. If you are new here, subscribe for more social psychology videos and comment down below, "I subscribed," and let us welcome you. Let's start. Number 15. Closed body language. Do they keep their arms and legs close to their bodies? Do they cross their arms as soon as you start talking? If so, it's a pretty good sign that they don't like you. You can usually tell right away if someone doesn't like you because of the way they stand or sit. Because we tend to mirror each other when we like one another, when the other person is closed off and not mirroring you, they're probably not into you. This can happen subconsciously, and it can be a difficult one to pick up on. But if you notice this behavior, remember that the body doesn't lie. Number 14. Their facial expressions seem forced. Some people might smile when they see you, but if it doesn't seem like their smile is genuine, if they're not really smiling with their eyes, then it's probably forced. That fake-looking smile may be a sign that someone doesn't like you because subconsciously they don't want to feel bad about giving off the impression that they're not happy to see you. You can easily spot a fake smile because it looks like the person is actually smiling with their mouth, not with their eyes. Number 13. They try to avoid eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most important parts of a conversation, especially if you want to make a good impression. If someone doesn't want to look you in the eye, it's usually because they don't really care about what you have to say. Eye contact is crucial for that connect moment when both people are trying to show how much they're into each other. If the other person looks away a lot, that means they're probably not into you, no matter how much eye contact they initially make. Number 12. They are short with you. Being short with someone means they don't care enough to be open with you. If they're curt and short with you, their interest level is pretty low. This doesn't necessarily mean the person doesn't like you, but it can be a sign that they just don't find you interesting enough to even try to get to know better. If you feel like you're doing all the work in the conversation and they aren't reciprocating, that's another sign. Unless it's a really busy person and they're genuinely short because of how overwhelmed they are right now, this could be a sign of lack of interest. Number 11. They never want to make plans. Usually, when we like someone, we want to spend more time with them. If the other person never wants to set up any plans with you, it could mean they don't like you. This doesn't necessarily mean that the person is always busy and has something better to do than hang out with you. It's possible that they just don't want to spend time with you because they aren't interested. Some people will always be busy, but if someone truly wants to spend more time with you, they will make the effort to do so. If not, then their interest level is pretty low. Number 10. They never seem to listen. If you notice that the other person hardly ever listens to you, they might not like you. If someone likes you, one of the best ways to tell is through their attentive listening skills. If they don't listen well or aren't showing interest in what you have to say, then it's probably because they're not that into you. There's a big difference between pretending to listen and actually being attentive. So if they're just pretending to listen, that's a pretty big red flag. Number 9. They repeat your sentences back to you. When someone repeats back to us what we say to them in a questioning way, this is called parroting. It's a sign that they might not really be listening to what you have to say, and it subconsciously tells you that they aren't interested. This can happen, for example, on the first date, but if it continues beyond that, then there probably isn't much of an interest level going on anymore. Number 8. Things feel awkward when they are around. If you just notice that it's hard to feel relaxed around the other person, things might not be going well. This is especially true if they're often short with you and don't want to talk much. People who really like us won't make us feel awkward or uncomfortable when we hang out together. However, if it feels like there's always an invisible wall between you two, then it might not be meant to happen. Number 7. They distance themselves from you. Another body language sign that might clue you in that someone doesn't like you is if they distance themselves from you. This could be either physically or emotionally. If someone isn't interested in getting to know you, it can easily show through their body language and actions. For example, if the other person often seems distant or cold, it means they probably don't enjoy your company. It's also possible that they get physically distant. For example, if the other person seems like they want to sit further away from you during a conversation, or if they get up and leave without saying anything, this can be a sign that the person doesn't like you. Number 6. They are constantly checking the time. Do they seem like they're always checking the time? When we don't want to spend our time with someone, we will subconsciously check the time on our phones or wristwatches more often, hoping that they will notice and help us escape. This is another sign that people who aren't really into you tend to show. They might not necessarily be doing it on purpose, but if their body language seems like they would rather be somewhere else, it's a good idea to pay attention. Number 5. Your conversations never go deeper than the surface. If you're just talking about your everyday life, the weather, or the latest episode of your favorite TV show, but nothing deeper ever comes up, it could be a sign that they don't like you. People who really like us are probably also interested in our goals and dreams. However, if this is never discussed with the other person, it might be a sign that they're not interested in getting to know you better. Number 4. They only reach out when they need something. If you notice that they only ever reach out when they need something from you, instead of just making contact for fun, it could be a sign that the interest level isn't very high. For example, if someone only contacts you when they want to ask for a favor or borrow some money and never just to say hi and see how you're doing, it might be a sign that they only care about themselves and that they don't really care about you. Number 3. They consistently disappoint you. When we really like someone, we want them to be happy, and we want to do what it takes to achieve this. We know that they might not always be able to do something for us in return, but with people who don't like you, they'll often let you down. For example, if the other person often cancels plans or doesn't show up at all, it might be a sign that they don't really care about you. And also, making excuses or pretending to be busy all the time is another sign that they don't really like you. Number 2. They never touch you. It doesn't matter whether or not it's friendly or flirty. Touching someone or being touched is a sign that the other person is comfortable around you. If they never touch you, it can be a sign that they're not interested. However, on the other hand, this might also mean that they respect your boundaries and don't want to cross them. For example, if they try to touch your arm or hand when you're talking, this might be a sign that they are interested. But if no touching ever takes place between you two, it might also be because they are not interested. Number 1. You feel it in the gut. Your gut feeling is something that can't be ignored. If you've got the sense that someone doesn't like you, even though they say or act like they do, it's best to trust your instincts. For example, if you feel uncomfortable, ignored, or like you don't belong when you're with them, it could be a sign that your gut feeling is right on this one. Conclusion. These were some of the psychological signs that people who don't like you might show. If you notice some of these signs, it doesn't mean that someone definitely doesn't like you. However, if most of these signs happen often, it's best to be cautious and not expect anything from them. If you have made it this far, here's a question for you. Which one of these 15 signs do you think is the most important one to watch out for? Let us know in the comment section below. To learn more, check out other videos on this channel and the links in the description. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.